We like to think of ourselves as the masters of our own minds. We believe that every decision we make is based on logic, and every memory we hold is a perfect record of the truth. But science tells a very different story. Underneath our conscious thoughts, there is a hidden source code running, a set of ancient psychological programs that dictate how we see the world, how we judge others, and why we often act against our own best interests. Welcome back to Discover the World in 10. You've seen the effects of the halo and the spotlight, but the human psyche is far more complex than that. Today, we go deeper into the archive of human behavior, from the strange limits of our social circles to the way we rewrite our own history. Here are 10 more psychological facts you probably didn't know. In an era where you can have thousands of followers online, your brain is actually stuck in a prehistoric village. This is known as Dunbar's number. According to evolutionary psychology, the human brain is physically incapable of maintaining stable, meaningful relationships with more than about 150 people. This limit is dictated by the size of our neocortex. For thousands of years, humans lived in tribes of exactly this size. Once a group exceeds 150, social cohesion breaks down, and we can no longer keep track of everyone's social standing or trust. You might know thousands of faces, but your brain only has room in the village for 150. Everyone else is just a stranger. Why do we value something more just because we helped create it? This is the IKEA effect. We tend to place a disproportionately high value on products we partially built ourselves, regardless of the actual quality. In a study, participants were willing to pay 63% more for furniture they assembled themselves than for the exact same piece pre-assembled. Our brains confuse the effort we spend with the intrinsic value of the object. This is why you love that wobbly shelf you built more than the expensive one you bought. To your brain, your labor is a part of the object's soul. Have you ever eaten a huge piece of cake because you went to the gym earlier? This is moral licensing. It is the subconscious tendency to allow ourselves to do something bad because we feel we have already been good. When we do something virtuous, it builds up moral capital in our minds. This gives us a psychological license to indulge in selfish or unhealthy behavior later without feeling guilty. Our brains are constantly trying to balance an internal moral scale, often leading us to justify bad habits simply because we did a single good deed. Your memory is not a video recording. It is a Wikipedia page that anyone, including you, can edit. The misinformation effect proves that our memories can be easily altered by new information we receive after an event. In famous experiments by Elizabeth Loftus, people remembered seeing broken glass or a stop sign that wasn't there, simply because of the way a question was asked. Every time you recall a memory, you are not playing a file, you are reconstructing it. And in that reconstruction, the truth is often lost, replaced by what we think should have happened. Why do the people who know the least often seem the most confident? This is the Dunning-Kruger Effect. It is a cognitive bias where people with low ability at a task overestimate their competence because they lack the very knowledge required to realize they are bad at it. Conversely, highly skilled people often underestimate themselves because they assume that if it's easy for them, it must be easy for everyone else. Real intelligence starts with the uncomfortable realization of just how much you don't know. The more you learn, the less confident you often become. We hate being wrong so much that we will change our reality to avoid it. Cognitive dissonance is the mental discomfort we feel when our actions don't match our beliefs. If a person knows smoking is bad, but continues to do it, their brain will create a rationalization like, "I'll die of something anyway," to resolve the tension. We are not rational animals. We are rationalizing animals. We don't act based on what we believe. We change our beliefs to make our actions feel okay.
You might think that being in a crowd makes you safer in an emergency, but psychology suggests the opposite.
The bystander effect states that the more people who witness an event, the less likely any one of them is to help. This happens because of a diffusion of responsibility. Everyone assumes someone else will take charge. To break this, if you ever need help in a crowd, don't just scream. Point to one specific person and give them a direct instruction. You must force their brain out of the crowd and back into an individual. Have you ever noticed a medium option that is almost the same price as the large? That is the Decoy effect. Marketing psychologists use a third, less attractive option to push you toward the most expensive choice. The decoy isn't meant to be sold, it's meant to change your perception of value. When we see a $3 small coffee and a $7 large, the large feels expensive. But if they add a $6.50 medium, the $7 large suddenly feels like a steal. Your brain is being tricked into thinking it made a smart financial decision, when in reality, it was steered toward a specific outcome. Why do we remember one insult for years but forget 10 compliments in an hour? Our brains are hardwired with a negativity bias. In the wild, ignoring a potential threat was fatal, while ignoring a reward was just a missed opportunity. Evolution favored those who focused on the negative because they were more likely to survive. Today, this ancient survival mechanism means we dwell on bad news, criticism, and fear far more than joy. We have to actively train our minds to see the positive because our factory settings are built for fear. We believe that the way we think is the normal way. This is the false consensus effect, the tendency to overestimate how much other people agree with our beliefs, values, and habits. Because we surround ourselves with people who are similar to us, we create a psychological bubble. We assume that most people share our opinions on politics, religion, or even lifestyle choices. When we meet someone who disagrees, we don't think they are different, we think they are wrong or uninformed. Understanding this is the first step toward true empathy. The human mind is the most complex structure in the known universe. Every day, we learn more about the silent programs that drive our lives. Understanding these facts doesn't just make you smarter, it makes you more aware of the choices you make. Which of these facts surprised you the most? Have you ever fallen for the IKEA effect or experienced the bystander effect? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into the mind, like the video and subscribe to discover the world in 10. Thanks for watching, and stay curious.